Brianna Weist. When you're ready, this is how you heal. Have you ever experienced a loss or disruption so powerful it shook your perception of the future? Such instances, while painful, often serve as a wake-up call, ushering us into a journey of healing and self-discovery. What if this healing process was less about repairing what's broken and more about uncovering the most authentic version of ourselves? In this Blink, we invite you on a journey of exploration and transformation, inspired by the understanding that healing isn't a one-time event. The aim is to provide insights and practical steps that encourage you to consciously piece together the full truth of who you were meant to be. By the end, you'll be equipped with the tools to better understand and navigate life's complexities. You'll be able to foster deeper connections, dream fearlessly, and adapt gracefully to change. This is your guide to healing and stepping into the light of your authentic self. So let's begin. The art of navigating change. Change, both unforeseen and intentional, is a part of life's journey. It's essential to embrace it. Life's unexpected offerings aren't coincidences, but signposts nudging us toward needed transformation. Imagine standing at the edge of a high dive, your heart racing. You've spent years circling the pool, convincing yourself it's where you should be. But now, the invitation to leap, to embrace change, stands right in front of you. Struggling to stay in the comfort of the familiar, we often don blinders, ignoring the paths opening before us. Put yourself in the shoes of a hiker. You might have set off on a path, content with the route you've chosen. But if you're constantly glancing at the map, doubting your direction, you're likely on the wrong trail. It's when you're embracing the journey, absorbing the beauty around you, that you know you're on the right path. Life isn't about following a rigid script. Hitting milestones doesn't necessarily equate to fulfillment. It's almost like following a recipe to the letter, yet the finished dish is tasteless. Fulfillment doesn't come from checking boxes, but from being in tune with your soul, exploring, growing, and adapting. Now you might ask, what if I feel like I'm falling behind? Well, imagine you're in a race, but instead of a flat track, it's a maze. Everyone takes different turns. Some reach dead ends, some find shortcuts. There's no single way to reach the end, no timeline to adhere to. Feeling like you're falling behind is an illusion, because life isn't about reaching checkpoints as a prescribed time, but about the journey itself. So what can you do to embrace change? First, instead of measuring your life against others, tune into your own rhythm. It's like dancing. When you're too focused on matching other steps, you lose the joy of the dance. Instead, focus on how the music moves within you. Second, recognize that setbacks aren't failures, but opportunities for redirection and growth. Remember the hiking example? A blocked trail isn't a setback. It's an invitation to discover a path you may not have considered, a chance to witness new vistas and wonders. So when life offers you an opportunity to change, take it. Trust the process and give yourself the chance to get it right. Remember, the real journey is the one that resonates with the deepest part of you, the one that allows your soul to express its truth fully. It's in embracing change and exploring the different paths that will truly bring your inner world into the world around you. Debunking 5 self-limiting thought patterns. Let's embark on a journey to unpack 5 insidious thought patterns that may be tethering you to a life you don't want, preventing you from living your life to the fullest. First, let's tackle the notion that life is a zero-sum game of good and bad. Picture this. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop whenever something positive happens, like landing a dream job or finding love. You see life as a series of hardships, and success or happiness feel like a temporary glitch. This negative bias can lead to self-limiting behaviors, such as staying in a job or relationship that makes you unhappy. Remember, life isn't inherently hard, and good fortune isn't a setup for disaster. Start believing that good things can happen and stabilize your life. Next, address the belief that you must endure things you hate to gain a life you love. Imagine working a job that drains your soul, thinking it's the only way to gain freedom and time. But this belief only serves to erode your quality of life. Start challenging this thought pattern by understanding that you can't hate your way into a life you love. Instead, strive for what brings you joy and fulfillment. The third thought pattern is that people often feel responsible for every problem around them. Maybe you constantly find yourself in a spiral of worry over issues you have little control over. It's crucial to understand that not every problem within your proximity is your cross to bear. As an actionable step, start distinguishing these problems within your sphere of influence and those that are beyond it. This will free you from unnecessary worries and anxieties. Next up is the thought pattern that you have to be successful to be happy and beautiful to be loved. But success and beauty are subjective terms, often colored by capitalistic ideals. What if instead you defined success as living on your own terms and beauty as being authentic? This self-acceptance is an act of power, success, and beauty in their purest forms. Finally, let's discuss the belief that you're the sum of other people's opinions about you. Imagine crafting your self-perception based on how you believe others see you. What if instead you take time to discover who you fundamentally are on your own terms? This process can shift the way the world sees you, enabling you to live up to your own expectations rather than those of others. These 5 thought patterns may be deeply ingrained, but by recognizing and challenging them, you can break free and create a life that's truly your own. The transformative power of letting go. Throughout our lives, we often find ourselves tethered to situations, objects, thoughts, and even people that may no longer serve us, waiting for an external force to untangle us from these bonds. This waiting game leaves us lingering in uncertainty, sometimes causing us to feel devastated when the severance finally happens. Yet, we tend to view letting go as a last resort, something we'll only do when the world leaves us no choice, when it becomes abundantly clear that something isn't meant for us. But what if you could view letting go in a different light? The truth is that it's not a single momentous event, but a practice, a skill to be honed. Just as you'd train for a marathon by first running shorter distances, you can learn to let go by starting with smaller things. This could mean releasing a passing thought or deciding not to engage in an insignificant argument. It might involve parting with objects that merely remind you of a bygone era, or releasing the expectations you place on others to live according to your narratives. Consider the clothes that no longer fit your evolving identity. You're not the same person you were when you bought that favorite shirt years ago. By holding on to these articles, you're clinging to a version of yourself that you've outgrown. Letting go of these physical items can be symbolic of the more significant emotional and psychological changes that are occurring within you. Extend this idea to the people in your life. Some of these individuals may not be ready to reciprocate the love you extend. Investing in love in those who aren't prepared to reciprocate is like watering a plant that's unwilling to grow. You're wasting precious resources that could be nurturing flowers that are ready to bloom. The first step here is to identify these relationships, reevaluate them, and determine where you should be focusing your energy. Remember, you're not really letting go, you're just accepting what's already gone. Herein lies the heart of the matter. What you're investing your energy in defines your existence. This leads to another nugget of wisdom. To make it a priority to cultivate a space filled with individuals who genuinely care, listen, and connect. Imagine this as a garden. The more you water the plants that are eager to grow, the more you'll see your garden flourish. The same concept applies to relationships. The more energy you pour into genuine connections, the more rewarding they become. As you practice the art of letting go and embrace your worthiness, you create room for what truly nourishes your soul. You step into the fullness of your life, ready to embrace all that is ready to love you back. Navigating aspirations amidst doubts. Dreams, with their grandeur and promise, can be both aspirational and daunting. This is about you, the dreamer, whether you're just embarking on your journey, standing at the crossroads of change, or gathering the courage to share the fruits of your lifelong passion with the world. The reality of ambitions can sometimes be daunting. It's as if there's an internal conflict, a constant tug of war between the desire to leap forward into the future and the paralyzing doubt that freezes you in your tracks. This clash is a universal experience shared by anyone who's ever dared to dream. But here's the thing. It's crucial to remember to look around, not upward, not at the towering figures that dominate your field, but at your peers who stand beside you. Instead of comparing yourself to those greats, which only serves to fuel feelings of inferiority, consider their achievements as a testament to what's achievable, a beacon of potential. The world you inhabit today opens avenues that were inconceivable just a few years ago. It's not about creating an exact replica of their success, but about understanding that there's room for you in the rich tapestry of the creative world. Doubt and insecurity often lead people to believe that only the most gifted, the most outrageously talented, or the most perfect can succeed. In reality, many successful dreamers are those who consistently showed up, dared to step forward, despite their imperfections. Remember, even your idols had day jobs. Your worth as a creator isn't defined by the level of your commitment, but by your courage to show up. Think about it. The art we cherish the most, the books that occupy our shelves, aren't always the critically acclaimed masterpieces. They're the ones that speak to us, that resonate with our experiences and emotions. Your worth as a creator doesn't depend on your frame, the size of your audience, or whether your name echoes through households. All it truly requires is the willingness to create something authentic, moving, and true to you. And that's what we, as fellow human beings, are searching for. Stories that mirror our own, works that meet us where we are, creations that make us feel understood and seen. The most potent way to create this connection is to bear a piece of your soul, to translate your unique essence onto the canvas of your craft. That's what matters. That's what resonates. And don't forget, you're an evolving canvas, a story in the making. The journey will have its rough patches and stumbles, but remember, the greatest of odysseys were never smooth sails, but were marked by trials that transformed the ordinary into the extraordinary. Reclaiming instincts and embracing self-acceptance. In the journey of life, there's a chance you've veered off course, letting societal expectations and opinions override your instincts. Now, this deviation isn't your fault. Rather, it's a consequence of conditioning that started when you were young. Remember the kid who fearlessly wore clothes that made them smile, acted on ideas without second thoughts, or expressed hunger without guilt? Gradually, societal norms and expectations robbed you of that innate sense of self. You began to doubt your reflection in the mirror, base your clothing choices on hiding your perceived flaws, and question your hunger cues. This disconnect from your own instincts creates a sense of self-doubt, breeding a cycle of overcorrection and self-sabotage. Overcorrection is the equivalent of aiming to fix what's not broken, assuming that every aspect of your life is fundamentally flawed. This might mean pushing yourself to the limits of productivity, trying to fix into an idealized image, or obsessing over the outward appearance of social connections. This vicious cycle of overcorrection is birthed from the feeling of not being good enough and from a relentless quest for external validation. So how can you break free from this relentless cycle of overcorrection? Start by reconnecting with your honest opinions. It's as simple as trying new food, listening to a new playlist, or watching a new movie. This process of engaging with your genuine opinions will gradually restore your instincts. Next, tune into your basic needs: hunger, thirst, tiredness. Take note of them and respond accordingly. This will reestablish your connection with your most fundamental instincts. Remember, overcorrection is a learned behavior, much like your reaction to others. By granting others your approval and appreciating them for who they are, you gradually raise the bar for self-acceptance and decrease the competitive mentality around worthiness and connection. Lastly, stop taking everything personally. People's judgments are often projections of their own issues, not a verdict of your worth. When you grasp this concept, the origin of your problems shift from a personal attack to collateral damage from someone else's wounds. Listen to the quiet voice within you. If there's an aspect of your life that genuinely needs change, you'll know. But the motivation for change should come from a place of self-respect, not external validation. The magic unfolds when you accept yourself exactly as you are. Only then can you transform into everything you possibly could be. Releasing judgment and determining your personal enough is a crucial step in reclaiming your life. So that was our blink to When You're Ready, This Is How You Heal by Brianna Wiest. In this blink, you've learned that letting go isn't just a last resort, but a powerful practice in reclaiming your life. By releasing what no longer serves you, whether it's thoughts, things, or relationships, you create space for growth and nourishment. Remember, what you invest your energy in defines your existence, so prioritize cultivating genuine connections and focus on the plants that are eager to grow in your garden of life. Embracing change and exploring different paths will lead you to self-discovery and fulfillment, reminding you that the real journey is about experiences, transformation, and resilience. By recognizing and challenging self-limiting thought patterns, reconnecting with your instincts, and embracing self-acceptance, you can break free from the cycle of overcorrection and step into the fullness of your life. Letting go becomes a profound growth that unveils your true potential, allowing you to create a life that is authentically yours. Thanks so much for listening. If you have a moment, please leave us a rating or comment. We always appreciate your feedback. And I'll see you in the next blink.